Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at episode 20 of March Comes in the Line or Three Gatsu no Line. Freaking awesome, man. This show can do something very simple every week and yet have so much emotional impact that you're just left watching it and going, oh my god, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? I love the beginning part of this. It started off with this whole like dream sequence of events that happened, and I almost wonder if maybe this is not really just per se a dream, that this is something that happened in his hometown, because what it looks like he's a young kid walking back home, or at least a teenager at this point, and it looks like some fire is going on. So I'm almost thinking that's really part of his past, that maybe his house burnt down or something like that. But he then switches to what looks like a actual dream, and in the dream, something very disturbing kind of happens, and I think it's. I don't want to say that's gonna per se foreshadow on the future, but it could be. I want to say, where various things happen. One is that he sees his girlfriend, and it looks like a daughter of some sort, and apparently it's not his family, because he didn't probably have a daughter. It looked like more so it just looks like his girlfriend broke up with him in real life. But what happens is he's dreaming like that they're still together, even though they everything went down in a way that wasn't like that. He's dreaming they're still together, they're family. He ends up seeing his grandfather, he sees his father, etc. And I'm almost thinking that, like, I don't want to say that foreshadows is something like he's gonna die or anything like that, but during this whole episode, we have a very big switch in terms of having Shimoda saying that his stomach's hurting, and it keeps getting worse and worse. And the thing is that he, of course, obviously is playing against a character called Shinema, I think his name is, I can't I can't even try to say his name because it's probably I'm gonna probably butcher it even more than I just did. But this character apparently is a master class level, and he's playing against them, and he's just dominating them. This is the guy he's lost to already 3 times in a row. Um, During the whole game, we see though that Shimada has a lot on his mind and a lot of his plate. Besides the whole kind of dream-esque aspect that he had against him, his stomach looks like it's in surreal pain, and it's causing, I think, his game to be affected, because even though he's counterattacking as much as he can, and he's also launching attacks, he's falling apart to the point that what's ironic is that Ray and some other dude that apparently is another masterclass level are going, oh yeah, this is how the game's gonna go. And Ray is trying to stay positive for his master, essentially his advisor, and he's trying to go, the game's not over yet. You can't say that the game's over yet. But the guy's like, nah, there's no point in commentating anymore. The game's over. He lost. But we see that even though Shimada basically conceded the game, so he said that he lost. Everyone, including the other dude, noticed that he could have done one little move, and it would have changed the whole tide of the game again. But because Shimada's not in the game, because I think he's dealing with the whole stomach issues and various things that are on his plate, he didn't see it. It's a very simple move apparently, and he didn't notice it. So unfortunately, they leave as losers. Essentially, the game's lost. I don't want to say, I say losers like in the sense of like, oh, they're such. No, it's losers in the sense that they have lost. If the game's done for them, the line tournament comes to an end at this point, and they're going back home on the train. And Ray's essentially telling a narrative story in his head where he goes that life is always a struggle. There's a storm that you have in front of you, but then after you get past that storm, there's a worse storm ahead of you. And I think what he's trying to say in very bare minimum words is that life is a struggle. And that's simple as anything. But it's more so that when you deal with one struggle, there's always usually one that kind of presents itself later on. You have to kind of deal with that, which is 10 times worse. But at the same time, a true person will keep going and keep moving on despite that. And Shimada did just that. No matter what, he might have lost. He might be declared by a loser in the terms of the game, but he kept going. He didn't let him. He could have said easily probably his stomach was hurting. He could have said all this other stuff. He didn't do that. He kept pushing and pushing and pushing. This episode was such a great episode. I really love it. I love when anime takes like emotional concepts and I want to say thoughts, and really kind of just shows and you know puts them out there that this is what's going on, that this is life in many ways. Because I think March Comes Up the Line, one of the best things about it in terms of everything, not the not just the animation, not just the music, etc., but it's how it's very realistic in many senses of the struggle that a person has. But at the same time, what it's doing is it's putting it in almost a kind of linear format where it's showing up via a game, essentially. It's showing via the shogi matches that these characters have, but it's showing that as a very small spectrum. Like, if you've noticed, shogi has played a very small role in this whole show. And I'm not saying in the concept of, oh, that's, this, it's never been shown, or it's not about shogi, etc. I'm saying that what this show does is it takes the shogi matches and it puts them on a very small pedestal, and it has the characters over that pedestal. It has the characters really taking the brunt of all the narrative and all the storytelling and stuff like that. The shogi is there. It's meant to be a reinforcement to the story, but it's not the only thing that's supposed to be mattered in the story. And I love that. At the end of the day, and this is an episode that all I had to use was 5 images. I didn't have to use that many images to explain that, you know, the point A to point B story concept. But it's just so thought provoking that you could sit down at the end of it and go, huh, I wonder what that meant, or I wonder what this meant in retrospect. And I love it. I love this show. I'm telling you right now, guys and girls, I'm saying that right now of the season, probably this is my favorite thing of the season. Hopefully you guys like this episode too. Feel free to put in the comments below. Talk to me about the show. What do you think of it so far? Some of you have done that already, but I would love to hear more comments. Anyways, guys and girls, have a blessed day. Look out for my anime haul video, which is coming out probably, I want to say, in an hour or two, maybe. It's already done. I just have to upload it, so I don't want to spam you guys with videos. So I'll probably put it at 3:30 or stuff. Have a great blessed day, everyone. Bye bye.